Good morning.
Morning, Coach. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, how are we doing?
Doing well, thank you. For the group, if you have a question for Coach Longo, please use the raise hand function. We will we'll get to you momentarily. Our first question today will come from CL Brown. Go ahead, CL.
Hi, Coach. I was wondering if you could kind of break down the differences. Certainly, Diami is more experienced than his brother, but what are the strengths of both of those Brown brothers at receivers?
Well, speed is something that they both share. Obviously, I'm smiling because I'm thinking about Miss Brown at home. How we were talking about it today. How to see. Diami put together the kind of game that he had, and Joffrey obviously had a big play in the ball game. So I would say the biggest similarity is speed. They both possess it. They do a good job vertically, and they have the ability to detach themselves or separate themselves from defenders. So you try to get them both in that type of scenario, and obviously both of them responded on Saturday. And then maybe the difference right now is just experience. Diami's older and has played more, and Joffrey is still learning and from his brother and from Coach Galloway. So, he looks like Diami in the early stages. So we're excited, obviously, to have both of them here with us.
And I don't even know how to ask this the right way, but sometimes I feel like offense is kind of the play calls and selections are designed to not cater, but kind of protect their defense. And I mean that, like, maybe you don't go tempo because you're not trying to allow the opponent to have as much time on the field. I was wondering if you could take me behind your philosophy on how do you go about doing that in putting together a game plan?
So it's interesting. It's a conversation that when Coach Bateman and I got here, we have had in the past, and he'll tell you, and he's a champ. He'll tell you that the defense is responsible for the defense when they're on the field, and not the offense. And I think there are situations in games, obviously, that you can help one another on the other side of the football. We're going to do what we do offensively, and part of that is tempo. The best way to help the defense is to let them take the field with more points at their back than they had the previous drive. So scoring points is the best situation to put your defense back out on the field. I would say that there are advantages to establishing the run game. There's no question there. The running game takes longer. It keeps the clock running. And it allows you to sustain drives. It also provides you with some opportunities to do some of the things that we did, against Virginia on Saturday. So offensively, from a philosophical standpoint, we're going to do what we do. If we ever had to slow down to help special teams or defense or the staff or just the control of the game, then we would, and we will, and we have. And that's Coach Brown's mandate. So if he wants us to do something offensively, one direction or the other, whether it affect tempo or running or throwing the football, then that's what we do. We got to manage the game and win it. And so at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, let's go to Dina King.
Hey, Coach Longo, thanks for being on today. So just going to ask you about the play right before the half. What did you guys think you had on that play?
So we got down there and we decided to we took 2 shots into the end zone. We had to manage the clock a little bit. That play is really I take responsibility just because I have got to do a good job, a better job maybe of coaching our quarterback on that play. We wanted to get the ball out to Daz if they were in man coverage, and we went in motion and they drove their defender across the formation to run with them. We wanted to change direction and get him back out on the perimeter and throw him a swing. You know, it wound up being a backward lateral. That's not the design of the play. The play is just to throw him a swing off of a little bit of run action and let him, because he's such a great athlete, let him race to the pylon. And on that play, what you get, particularly in that scenario, is if somebody darts up the field, if they have two guys outside on the edge, if they cover it in some way, if there's any kind of trouble, you've got to damage control the play and put the ball out of bounds, and that stops the clock. And then, you know, it gives you the option of deciding whether or not you want to kick a field goal or go for the touchdown on 4th down. And so that was the scenario going into that play, calling the motion back throw. You know, it's being termed as a. I had somebody ask me today, was it a double pass? No, it wasn't. It wasn't even meant to be a backward lateral. It unfortunately turned out to happen, and when the ball hit the ground, it was a live ball, and so we were unable to get points.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's go to Andrew Jones.
Hey, Coach, staying on that, you guys had the ball at the 2-yard line. How long generally would it take to run a running play, a dive play, some power stuff? And if you don't get it, be able to get up and maybe Sam spike the ball, stop the clock, and be able to run a play or kick a field goal? Generally, how long does it take to run a power running play in a situation like that?
You can get a run play off. It's you know, a smart defense. It's gonna, if you don't score, you know, that's the issue, and they tackle you at the 3 or the 2 or the 1, they're gonna sit on you. I mean, they're not gonna let you up. And there's the danger of not being able to get up to clock the ball or get another play off. So the definite thought process there was to throw the ball into the end zone and take 2 shots. And then on that 3rd one, you know, I rolled the dice on the motion back throw, thinking that we could make a decision on 4th down. That's really how we got to it. And that's what happened. There was not a thought to run the football at that time because of the clock situation.
In the 2 losses, you guys were down by 24 at FSU, 21 the other night. And when Sam was bringing you back in the second half of both games, it appeared some quarterbacks or offenses may try to get multiple touchdowns on one drive, which isn't possible, and they kind of rush things in those situations. It appears that Sam, his patience allows him to just get 1 touchdown at a time. What is that? Just like a different kind of attribute that he has that maybe a lot of other guys don't have at his age, knowing you can only score 1 touchdown a possession?
You know, I think that there was 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter before we made our push. You know, and other than the one drive, the 1 turnover drive in the second half, I think we scored on every drive we touched the football. And you know, we had 10 drives in the game. We scored on 7 of them, and you would like to have finished the half better, and we would have liked to have not turned the ball over 1 time in the second half. But I think with that, at that 5-minute mark in the 3rd quarter, there's no reason to rush. I mean, we're already up tempo. Sometimes we're faster than others, but you know, it was important to mark our protection and make sure that we had that mapped out. You don't throw the ball down the field successfully unless you protect the quarterback. So we're always going to take whatever time we need to map out the protection or the run game. And, you know, with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, that's plenty of time. And so at that point, you just want to put together drives the way you normally do, the way we had been driving all game. I mean, we had been moving the football the entire game. I don't think there was any doubt in our mind that we were going to be able to continue to move the football. What you don't want to do prematurely is rush it and force throws and get away from what was making you or giving you success during the game that evening anyway. So we put together a normal play call drive, nothing in 2-minute mode. We went down and scored once, and that's our rhetoric on the sideline. 1 play at a time, right? 1 first down at a time, 1 drive at a time, 1 touchdown at a time. And you know, that's what we did, and we put ourselves in a position maybe to try and win the game at the end.
To follow up on that, is that sort of a special trait that Sam has, being able to execute that, knowing what the margin is?
Yeah.
Or do you find most quarterbacks don't have that?
I apologize. I probably didn't answer your question fully. Yes, Sam is great composure and great poise. Talk about that all the time. So moments like that, and the reason he's been so successful in the fourth quarter. I think somebody pointed out to me he's never thrown an interception in the fourth quarter. He makes good decisions. He stays within the play, and I just think he's getting better and better. But his personality is composure, it's poise, it's calm. So when you're in an adverse situation in a game, it pays great dividends because he's able to maintain focus on what we need to do on each particular down.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Taylor Vipolis, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Going back to how Sam is being coached, Virginia had a lot of success for the unaccounted rushers. Is that on the offensive front needing to check protection, Sam not knowing where that player is coming from, or how is that just being taught in your offense?
And we talked about sack reduction deal a few weeks ago. It's everybody's responsibility. I mean, the quarterback has the hand on the controls with regards to how we protect, but we had a couple protections that the O-line cut loose. We had one that we felt like our running back should have and could have been there. And then, we also had two that were really just great athletic plays by 7 and 11. And, we knew they were long. We knew they were rangy. We knew those guys were going to create problems for us. We knew they were good pass rushers. We had a swing throw to a running back that was open down on their side of the football field, and Sam couldn't get the ball by him. He was so long and he got up the field so fast. He didn't cover the back, but he's just so rangy. He got in our way, and then he did a good job of making the sack on Sam. So, there was a really good athlete that made a really good play on one of those downs, and it's the MAs and the missed assignments. Those are the issues that you try to clean up. Every now and then you're going to have a great athlete make a great play, and he did on one of those. And that's just football. That's just football. Those plays don't bother me. The ones where we can execute and do a better job, those are the ones that we're looking to correct.
And then a follow-up question. What do you think the offense was missing? I know you guys still scored 41 points, but without Jordan Tucker. And is there a status update for when he should be back?
No, he's day to day. He practiced today, so I think his intention is to play this week. So I think we're okay there. I always tell you that we're going to take what they give us, and UVA did a fantastic job of getting their safeties in the box. They loaded the box. They brought people down. They gave us individual matchups for the first time this year more regularly, and we needed to take advantage of those individual matchups than we did. And so, we threw the ball for more yards than we ran the ball for a change. But at the end of the day, I think we scored 7 out of 10 drives. Our expectation is to do a better job and complete the other 3. I would have loved to have finished the drive at the end of the half. We had a field goal that we missed, and we had 1 turnover. And so, I feel like the 3 drives that we didn't score were more within our control to handle and to affect than it really was about the UVA defense.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, last one for Coach comes from Ross Martin.
Hey, Phil, this is I'm going to try to phrase this properly here, but, I mean, fans, media, people are going to disagree with play calls, and people don't like some calls. People love calls that work out, calls that go bad. Obviously, some things happen. Do you see reactions on social media, message boards, Twitter, Instagram? Do you see that? Do anybody in the coaching staff, y'all talk about that? Or how does that kind of discussion work with fans just upset at certain things that don't go the right way?
Truthfully, Ross, I get on social media to recruit. That's about it. I watched George Seifert win the Super Bowl, and then a year later they fired him. I think there's always somebody that's not happy with what you do. When you start letting outside things, we tell our players this all the time. If you let outside distractions affect what you do, then what happens is it starts affecting the job you're doing inside the building. So I've been doing this long enough now to know that short of winning a national championship on an every year basis, there's going to be somebody out there that's not happy with with what you do. Hey, look, we run the ball for over 300 yards, and I hear about why are we not throwing the football with all those receivers? We throw the ball for 443, and why the heck aren't we giving those running back? I like the fact that we have a problem, and that is there's some talented players on our football team, and the best thing we can do is put our guys in the best position to win on every play. And if that happens to be running the ball, that's what it's going to be. And if it happens to be throwing it to one of our athletes, then that's what it's going to be. And that's my only focus. And I know that sounds like coach speak, but that's, look, I'm going to worry about my family. I'm going to worry about football and our players. And I'm going to enjoy the fans because most of them are extremely supportive of our players. And, this is really actually North Carolina is really a fun place to be. So the answer is no. And, right now the focus is on beating Duke.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Coach Longo, thanks for your time today.